We're joined now from Beirut by Osama Hamdan. He's a foreign affairs spokesman for Hamas. Osama Hamdan, Israel has demonstrated that it is prepared to go on killing Gaza's women and children, civilians generally. Why are you encouraging them by still continuing to fire your ineffective rockets into their territory?
Well, in fact, the Israelis are killing women, children for 6 decades and more. They are killing the children and the women from 1948. Everyone remembers Deir Yassin massacre, Kafr Qasim massacre, Sabra and Shatila massacre. Everyone is remembering that.
But I'm asking about the now. I'm asking about the now. They are only attacking you because you continue to attack them. Your attacks on them have virtually no effect except causing hysteria. They are killing your children, your women, by the hundred.
Exactly.
Well, why do you go on firing rockets?
This is their mentality. This is their history and this is their mentality. And everyone knows, and you have to know, that they have started the attack against Gaza before launching any rocket against the Israelis. There was a ceasefire 2012, and the one who violated this ceasefire was the Israeli army. And we said from day number one that we are not willing to have a fight. We are not willing to react against the Israeli attack. And then they bombed houses, killed 11 children and women, injured more than 40 civilians.
Mr. Hamdan,
then there was a reaction. Then there was, excuse me, then there was a reaction. Excuse me.
Yeah.
No, it's not fair to say whoever started, the Palestinians have to stop. It's not fair to ask the Palestinians to give up their necks and threats for the Israelis to slaughter it whenever and however they want that.
Mr. Hamdan,
it's fair to make pressure on Israel as an occupation to stop their attack against the civilians.
Is it fair to put your women, children, men in the line of fire of the Israelis simply because you will not stop firing your rockets? They are pointless. They're achieving nothing.
We did not put the children and the women in the line of fire. In fact, the Israelis are killing the women and children because their soldiers are dying in the field. If you look at the numbers, through that fight, more than 60 Israeli soldiers were killed, and all the killing on the Palestinian side was among the civilians.
Not true. You've had a number of your fighters killed coming out of the tunnels. In fact, every single one that's come out of your tunnels has died. It has been pointless. Now, why not stop? Why not stop tonight?
Excuse me, it's not true. You are talking about the Israeli story, which is not a story. You are buying the Israeli story, and you are not listening to the Palestinians who are suffering, who are being killed, who are under the occupation, who are now feeling very desperate because Netanyahu destroyed the political solution and the two-state solution. He undermined the solution, the political solution. You have to understand the Palestinians. If you are willing to accept the Israeli occupation, have them to occupy your lands and your homeland and welcome them there.
Mr. Hamdan, the world is sympathetic to the Palestinians' condition in Gaza, but you appear not to be. The world wants to save the women and children in Gaza. It appears you do not want to. If you stopped firing your rockets tonight, you would embarrass Israel into stopping fighting you.
This is totally false. We have agreed on a humanitarian ceasefire for several times, and the one who violated the ceasefire was the Israelis every time they violated the ceasefire. And in 2012, there was a ceasefire. The one who violated that was the Israelis, using a story of the 3 settlers, which everyone knows for true that they were killed in a crime attack.
Mr. Hamdan, we have to restrict ourselves to what's going on now.
Excuse me, you have to understand the facts, not to buy the false story of the Israelis who are occupying the Palestinian land.
Okay, well, here's a fact from the United Nations, Mr. Hamdan. Here is a fact from the United Nations. This is a fact from the United Nations. You have put rockets and weapons in 3 of their schools. They admit that. Why? Why are you putting rockets and things in schools, in hospitals? That's why they get hit.
This is not true. When someone said that, we called for a formation for independent investigation committee to investigate about that, and then they said it was not a real story. We are not sure about what was being said. This is what the UN answered. So we are not accepting that. We won't accept to use the schools. I want to remind you, in 2008,
Mr. Hamdan, I'm sorry, we have not got time to go back into history. What the people of Gaza are pleading for is a ceasefire.
You don't want to hear the history of the criminals, and you want the Palestinians to accept the crime killing their own people.
Osama Hamdan,
today,
I'm afraid
Ban Ki-moon said, excuse me, today Ban Ki-moon said that there is no excuse for bombing the school in Jabalia. That was said by Ban Ki-moon today after the Israelis bombed the school.
Osama Hamdan, thank you very much indeed for joining us from Beirut. That is Hamas's Foreign Affairs spokesman. Kathy.
Thanks, Joe.